Hi, welcome to Growing Homemakers. My name is Sarah. We are on week 2 of the Three Rivers Pantry Challenge. My mom and dad, my husband and I, and our little boy all live on the same property in a multi-generational homestead. And we are trying the Pantry Challenge this year for the first time. So the following videos will be our dinners for the week. We did have to go to the store. I had to buy bananas and raspberries for my little boy. And we've had to buy eggs from the person we get them from locally because our chickens aren't all laying eggs yet. And we do still get the milk locally from somebody as well, our raw cow's milk. With that being said, so far those are the only things we have had to buy. My mom did get her Azure Standard order in this month. I sadly forgot to push my order with the things that were in the shopping cart, and I missed that opportunity. So I will be doing without until the next time we can order next month. So here's the videos of what we ate this week, clearing out our pantry, our freezers, and our fridge. Tonight I am getting Xanaran sausage and Xanaran's boxed rice out of my pantry and my freezer. Pulled 2 packages of each. We did happen to have rice, 2 of the same boxes of rice. So this Xanaran's red bean and rice is what I am making with the sausage tonight. I'm going to saute up the sausage, get it a little brown, and then I'll throw all the sausage back in the same pot that I sauteed it in and cook the rice with the sausage in the pot. So I get all those little brown fond bits off the bottom of the pan and keep that flavor in the rice. And it's one pot, easy cleanup. And because I'm doubling the recipe, I'm actually probably making way more than we need, even for the 4 of us. So it will probably be leftovers for lunches and or dinners coming up also. And we'll let those cook for a little bit. Alright, so the sausages have been cooking maybe 2 minutes. You can see the color difference. I believe this one is the andouille, and this one is the Cajun. And that is the browning that I like to see on my sausage. Okay, so all my sausages have been browned up. Sausages that I already cooked, I did drain in a piece of paper towel. Obviously, sausage is super greasy. And I don't want all of the grease in here. Now, the back of the packets say that I could, I don't know if you can even read that. It says that I could add 2 tablespoons of butter or olive oil. Because of the sausage being greasy, watch out, Bubba, you gotta get out of the way. I am not gonna do that. So, the bottom of the pan looks all black and burnt. It is not burnt. That is just really good flavoring in the pan. So, they would come out of the bowl. All my sausages go back into the pot. 6 cups of water, 3 cups for each box. Go in the pan. Now, I don't know if you can hear. My spoon is getting caught on that black stuff at the bottom. But you can see my water getting darker and darker. That is me scraping all those good bits off the bottom of the pan. Alright. Whoop! Almost spilt my rice. And these are just, like I said, they're the Xanaran. So they come in a packet. Rice, beans, seasoning and all. Now, hopefully after the pantry challenge, what I will do, we'll make this stuff, well, maybe not the sausage, but make these rice packets by myself. I always feel like the recipes online are not as flavorful as the boxes, so my goal is to be able to make my rice just as flavorful as the box mixes of rice. There's no reason that I should not be able to make food tastes just as well, if not better, when I make it at home than it does from a package and box. So dinner is done. Mom and Dave got theirs. They came and grabbed that. I tonight just gonna have a half a buttered English muffin. Hubby's having the other half. And that is dinner tonight. Okay, sorry about the mess in the background. That seems to be the theme of everything when I'm doing a video. So tonight we're doing a fend for yourself. So Mom and Dave are doing their own food. We are doing our own thing over here. So tonight is grilled cheese. Got my pan a little too hot. Not sure if you can see the smoking in there. But, and I am doing a fancy grilled cheese, if you will. 3 cheeses. I have mozzarella and cheddar we still have. And then I had some feta. So I'm actually going to do mozzarella. Bubba, you can't get by the stove. I'm sorry. I know. It's okay. So, Daddy's home. So I put some mozzarella in the bottom. 2 more little pieces. I'm originally from Wisconsin, so more cheese is always better. And then I have this feta. Now, feta is hard to melt. So when I do this, the feta doesn't necessarily melt in the grilled cheese. It gets creamy in there and it doesn't stay cold, but it doesn't completely melt. So then I just break up a little bit of feta. And then we have cheddar. So I'm going to do... I know, Bubba. No, you're okay. Let's see if I can find a smaller piece. I don't want something so thick. There we go. And then I just put this piece on top. Here's the moment of truth. Did I or did I not burn it? Nope. It didn't. I don't know if you can see. Did not brown necessarily evenly. But I didn't burn anything. And my bread already has cheese on the other side. Not cheese. My bread already has butter on the other side. So all I need to do is let it keep melting. And browning on the other side. Oop. And it's still, you can tell the top is gooey, but the other side isn't. So that is my grilled cheese. All right, let me check the other side. Boop. It is nice golden brown. Just gonna cut it real quick so I can show you the feta. See if I can show it in there. There it is. So it gets creamy, but it does not melt all the way. But it is delicious in a grilled cheese sandwich. So that is my dinner tonight, or our dinner, I should say. Still have a couple bags of these left. I bought them in bulk from Azure. I think it came in a 9-pack. So we still have 3 or 4 of those.
Okay, so this is tonight's Pantry Challenge meal. So we started with chicken breasts that they're store-bought. These aren't our chicken breasts, but they were from however long Sarah bought them. And then we marinated them. They've been in the freezer. We marinated them in a chimichurri grilling sauce.
Store-bought.
And then the linguini is made with preserved lemons, which Maria made preserved lemons a while ago in March.
A year ago, March.
Yep.
It's the first time we used them.
And we couldn't figure out what to use them for, so we use them in this. And it's basically just a 1/4 cup of preserved lemons with a full stick of butter, unsalted butter, 2 tablespoons of the brine, salt and pepper. That's it. And then I did cauliflower with cheese sauce on top.
And we didn't initially put the salt in here because
we tried it.
Because it calls for the brine, and preserved lemons are preserved in salt. So we tried it, and it needed the salt.
And a little bit of salt really made it pop. And then it'll get Parmesan cheese on top. And then we got this going on. We got loaves of bread that Maria made today. And she'll have to explain that to you when she's doing a bread video. and that's it. That's our pantry challenge meal for tonight. Live.
So we are making. It's David's birthday. That's Sarah's husband. Well, it was last week at least. And
He's still her husband, not just last week.
right. But we didn't do his birthday dinner last week. We're doing it this week. So, anyways, he wanted. If you guys remember the tuna pot pie that Hamburger Helper used to have, it was so yummy, and they don't make it anymore. So Sarah found a recipe online from Hootie Hoo. It's for the tuna pot pie. It's supposed to be the same tuna pot pie. So we're going to make that. Well, we don't have... Some of the things we have are a little different than what they call for. So we have freeze-dried mushrooms, so we're going to use those. But we don't have a can of cream of mushroom soup, so we have another recipe that we're using to make the cream of mushroom soup, and that's what we're doing right now. And this is from...
You need to get the mushrooms in there.
Yeah, I know. This is from Megan Hill, homemade condensed cream of mushroom soup. So, that's what we're making right now. Okay, so we made this recipe by the homemade condensed cream of mushroom soup by Megan Hill to go in our tuna pot pie that's supposed to be like the Hamburger Helper one. And this is fantastic. Look at it. So if you need homemade condensed cream of mushroom soup, and we used, this is raw milk we used, because it calls for milk, garlic powder, onion powder, chicken broth. We had made our own. That's out of freeze-dried chicken broth. We reconstituted with the water. And we used freeze-dried mushrooms and butter and flour. And I actually used bread flour.
And it took, what, 5 minutes?
5 minutes. Yep. Right.
That's it. Action.
Okay, so we made this. It's supposed to be the Hamburger Helper tuna pot pie that they used to have, and this is supposed to be the answer to it. It involves Bisquick. You make a top crust and a bottom crust. The top crust is a liquidy thing, and the bottom crust you put in the bottom and push into it. I actually rolled it out. And I found that for the bottom crust calls for 2 tablespoons of milk. I actually probably put in closer to 4, maybe 3.5 tablespoons of milk. But anyways, then it also calls for, in the filling, it's a can of cream of mushroom soup, which we had to make. And we talked about that in the beginning of this video. A bag of mixed frozen vegetables, pepper and garlic and salt. What's the half a quarter cup Bisquick?
You sure about the filling?
Yeah.
That's if you want to thicken it up.
Okay. Well, it doesn't say it next to it. So if you want to thicken up the filling, you put in a quarter of a cup of Bisquick in the filling. We did not do that. We felt it was thick enough. And it also says a large can of tuna with liquid. We used 3 small cans, and we poured the liquid out. Because 2 of the people here don't like tuna. Who's the third?
No.
That's you. And
Don't
Sarah.
like tuna casserole. Oh, you don't like tuna
I
casserole?
like it.
Oh, okay.
So anyways, and this is what it looks like. So far, it looks really good. I'm going to cut into it. And this recipe, just to say it again, is by Hootie Hoo. HOODYHOO. And I don't think I don't normally cut with this, but
Oh, it was Wednesday.
crust on the bottom feels good.
Now, we don't know if the crust on the bottom is going to come out because it didn't say
Right. Didn't say
to lubricate, so we didn't.
so we'll see. It's very liquidy, so maybe we should have added a little of this quick. Yeah, I can feel it's stuck. So,
What was that?
uh-oh. Somebody's crying.
You might want to get a spoon.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
He's been a little like that today. I don't know why.
That didn't really stick.
No.
Yeah, it came right off.
Yeah, it's coming off. I would say
And
maybe
that's it.
thicken it a little more with, if you want to add the Bisquick or whatever.
But it's still hot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still hot. So, and that's it.
Yeah, and that's it. Looks good
Hey.
though.
And that's
Get
it.
down. Get down.
So tonight's dinner, I think it's the 12th now, so technically it's day 11 for us in the Pantry Challenge. Tonight's dinner, we pulled a chicken that my mom and dad had culled this year out, and my dad braised it, and then he slow roasted it, he brined it for 24 hours, and then he slow cooked it. That's the way we have found that makes it the most tender. Cooking it any other way usually produces a really tough chicken. These were not a meat bird specifically. They were dual purpose, but the meat is a little tough if not slow cooked. So tonight's dinner is going to be pretty simple. He did the chicken. We had a bok choy in the fridge, and we have onions and garlic from the garden. So here it is. So I had I put a dollop of butter in there, sauteed the onion and the garlic, and then dumped the bok choy. It was a huge bok choy. And now I do have a little bit of water in the bottom of the pan. I'm going to put a lid on it and just let the bok choy soften up. I just ground some pepper. I'm going to add a good amount of salt. So we have these beans we're putting in there tonight. They're not the most appetizing looking, but they are from our garden. They actually started out green. I'm not 100% sure how you pronounce them. They were a Baker Creek bean, and it's spelled MBO. MBO. So some of the consensus is maybe the M's or the B's are silent. Or it's Mabo. I don't know. But it was like a jade colored bean. But once I cooked them, they turned on. Is that like a northern bean it almost looks like? Or a pinto bean? I have a few in here. Can I show it to you? Where is it? That one's a little darker. I don't know. I think that's just a bad bean. That might just be a bad bean. So now I've added the chicken. The dark meat from our chicken is very dark. Now this was only about a 3.5 pound bird. It was not very large. So we have the beans in here. That's going to add some protein as well. Now in the summer, I would most likely add some fresh cilantro into this also. This was a dish that one of the guys at work made for me once, and it was just really good. But it's got the beans and the bok choy, or you could even do spinach. And then we put feta and green onions and cilantro on it. It does not sound like it would go well together, but it's actually delicious. So it is really cold out here. We are supposed to get down into the low negatives. in the next day or two. Let's see if I can find any. But I don't think I have enough onion. Oop, dropped my scissors. Enough onion in the dish because of all the bok choy. And we have wild chives or green onions or whatever it is growing in our garden. Or not in our garden, I'm sorry. All throughout our yard. Anywhere there's grass, we can usually find some wild chivy-ish thing. They're either green onions or chives of some sort. So I'm going to chop some of those up. I'm actually going to turn the camera so you can see it. And I'm going to bring those in so that we can have those with our dinner. I can sprinkle those on top. So here they are. They may not look like much. It's cold out. Let's see. But I am going to take a scissors to them, bring them inside, and see if there's anything usable there. Down as far as I can. Cut as much. Now, some of that is all dead on top. Like I said, it has been brutally cold. But with that being said, that does not mean that none of this is usable. Smelled it just to make sure. Let me take it inside and see what it looks like. Okay, here it is. I picked through it, and that is what we are left with. They have got to be chives that are growing. If it smells like an onion and looks like an onion, it's got to be from the onion family. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And this is what we're not using. I picked through it. This was the dying stuff, the grass, the leaf I managed to grab with it. But we got some really nice looking chives right out of our front yard when it's 20 degrees or 14 degrees outside. 10 degrees outside. And it gave us a little bit extra onion because this, for the pantry challenge, that's my last lonely green onion I have. So I topped it with our onion grass and some feta, and that is dinner. It is super, super delicious. Just going to let it cool so little man and I can share our dinner. And we are actually going to do a little dessert. We had a pound cake in the freezer that got pulled yesterday, and we had some canned cherries, so I just thickened those up on the stove. So we are all going to have a slice of pound cake with some, I guess, cherry pie filling really is to simplify it, but cherry pie filling on top of it. So I'm eating my pound cake, and somebody goes, "Did you get any Cool Whip on it?" And remember those 5 canisters or containers of Cool Whip that were in our freezer when I was showing you what all we had during our first week of Pantry Challenge? Well, I just made it yummier with a little bit of Cool Whip.
Okay, this is take 2. This is our pantry meal for tonight. I got some water with a little oil in it, a little salt, getting ready to boil. We're going to be doing penny pasta. This is out of our pantry. This is a bag we've had for quite a long time. Penny ziti. So it's penny ziti rigate. And this bag, when I put it in, before I put it in my pasta cooker, I washed it real well because the last bag was not good. And I ended up throwing away an entire bag of penny pasta that was just too old. And so I'm glad we're doing this challenge. And then we got a chuck roast. I put this in here completely frozen. And it's wash your sister sauce, French onion soup that Maria canned, and some spices, pepper, basil, things like that. Just a few little things. It smells and is going to taste phenomenal. And a little bit of steamed broccoli, and that's it. So that's our dinner for tonight, and that's a valuable lesson and a good reason to do these pantry challenges, because, you know, stuff gets stuffed into the back of the cabinets, and then it It gets forgotten about until you take it out and you go, oh, oof, whoa, how old is that? And that's what I did with that first bag of pasta. You know, you think it's dried pasta, it's sealed in a bag, it's going to be good, right? Wrong. So that's tonight's meal. Thanks.
So for week 3, we do have some fun things that we're going to do. We're going to get those frozen bags of tomatoes out of our freezer. Probably make tomato sauce with that and get that canned up. We have some pureed squash, some shredded zucchini. We're going to try and use up all of that stuff as well for week 3, or at least some of it. So thank you so much for watching our videos and coming along on this journey of us starting our multi-generational homestead.